Good morning, grade 11 entrepreneurship students. Today we'll be trying to understand about the human resources and what kind of significant contribution they make towards the organization's profit. Right? In yesterday's class, we have seen about the physical assets. We have also seen about the material and intangible things. Today we'll be trying to understand about the human resource. To tell you the most difficult and the most complicated component of any organization is human. Amongst other factors of production like men, machine, materials, men are very difficult to handle because they are filled with emotions. They have life. They don't work like a machine, right? You need to motivate them, you need to supervise them, direct them. There's a lot of work involved with dealing with human beings. But yes, they are the people on whom our profits are dependent upon. The most important assets that a firm must have and that management must be most concerned with are the human assets. In the absence of all other or non-living resources and are useless. What will you do with a machine when you have nobody to switch it on? Right? An organization's performance and resulting productivity are directly proportional to the quantity and quality of human resource. A rich and continuing supply of qualified people is the best assurance of an enterprise that it will flourish. To put it in simple words, a right man at the right job at the right time is the mantra for successful entrepreneurs. What are the benefits? It benefits of specialization to the firm, minimizes the wastages, reduces inefficiency. Yes, if you have a proper human resource department, labor turnover ratio and rate of absenteeism can be checked on. And it also saves the cost of production. Remember, when I say saves the cost of production, it simply means that there are two ways of earning profit. I've been repeating this since long. One, either to increase the customer base or reduce the cost of production. So human resources contribute significantly in reducing the cost of production as well as increasing the customer base through their marketing efforts. In order to build up loyal, efficient, and dedicated personnel, the entrepreneur needs to access what kind of people or he or she needs, how many people do they need, and you should never forget the fact that even in an SSI, both employer and employer also comes under human resource. Now, what kind of people? To carry on the work, each organization needs personnels with necessary qualification skills. Suppose you are doing something that is labor intensive. Matlab, there's a lot of manufacturing that's going to happen. You don't need a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer to manufacture. You need somebody who is skilled labor related to that particular task of working and dealing with machine, right? So the entrepreneur must clearly know what kind of person he's expecting, what kind of qualification, skills, experience, what age. Everything is very, very important. To an extent, the nature of business activity helps the entrepreneur to decide. If you are working in a hospital, you need qualified nurses, qualified cleaners, qualified doctors, qualified lab technicians to work with. You don't need people with a different set of skill set like engineers, like scientists inside the hospital, lawyers. You don't need them inside. So what is your organization and what kind of people do you need? That is very, very important for you to understand. The type of personnel required to fill the vacant position demands a careful planning. There is a series of HR rounds that you have to conduct. You have to carefully analyze the qualification, check the resume of people who are applying for the job. There's a lot of process involved in it. First of all, you have to determine the task which is comprised of the job, the skill, the knowledge, the abilities, the responsibilities, and what kind of emotional and physical health is required. All those things you have to determine in advance. You have to also prepare a statement called minimum acceptable human qualities. What are all the qualities that you're expecting out of a person that you are going to recruit? The larger the unit, the more diversified is the nature of the job. Yes or no? You will have complicated tasks involved. The larger the bigger unit, the challenging the job. The type of human resource may vary from one organization to another, as I have described. In a school, you don't require somebody having a qualification of, somebody of a qualification of an MBBS. Yes, in an MBBS or a medical college, you need them, but otherwise, you don't. While assessing the kind or the type of manpower required, entrepreneurs should not forget to make a policy to appoint women, persons with backward community, and people with special abilities. You have to give job opportunities to each and every sector that comprises of a society. Remember, you are doing business not in a jungle, you are doing it very much in a society where you and me exist. In this society, there are different categories of people. The sad part is still women is considered to be a special category person. Persons from backward communities, that's why we have quota in India. Yes or no? Manning table is something that is very importantly prepared by the human resource department. To develop the manpower for the whole organization is not an easy. You have accounts department, you have a sales department, you have marketing department, you have purchase department, different category logistic departments, admin department. So this important economic resource is required to create, design, and develop, manage, and operate the enterprise. So, how much important the human resources, based on that, you have to prepare something called as a manning table. Why manning table is prepared? In order to make sure that you are not making a wrong choice of person or putting in the wrong person, because one rotten apple can spoil the entire bunch of apples. Same way, to begin with, the total work to be done is to be divided and grouped in packages. All the entire work is divided, that means the full work of the organization is divided into small departments, and in that small departments, each consists of 10 people or 20 people, and based on that the package is given. For the team lead 30,000, for the assistant team lead 20,000, like that. A job may include many positions. For position, each position, a job may include, for every position there is a job that is performed. There is a particular employee that is assigned. Each person will have different position, different duties, different responsibilities, and he has to contribute towards achieving the overall organizational objectives. They have a wide range of personals, from top management to bottom, like owners and all are top managers, top management, administrators, engineers, technical people, skilled and unskilled workers, and what kind of person is required to recruit and what are the qualities of that person. You should make it, you should keep a series of tests and carefully in a systematic way you have to recruit people inside the organization. This is all about manpower recruitment, and manpower planning is also very important. There is a diagram that is given in your textbook. I would request all of you to go through it. The human resource can be classified into managerial power, non-managerial manpower, and professional and others. Larger the enterprise, more complicated the classification. The next question that you will address is how many people you need. You need 100 people under you. You need, as a startup, you need only 10 people with you. How many number of people you need? The quantity of the person. Earlier we were talking about the quality of the personnel. Now we are talking about the quantity of the personnel. The total amount of work done, dividing the total work into a set of activity, level of absenteeism. There are certain rules and regulations. You can take only one day off in a month. The turnover, labor turnover in a month. The present labor turnover का मतलब होता है how many people have joined the organization, how many resigned or how many quit, how many you terminated. That is all coming under the labor turnover. The total number of present employees that you have. What are the future plans of yours? Are you going to expand, diversify, grow? Then in that case, how many more people you may need? All these questions, very, very important. Efficient utilization. After you recruit them, efficient utilization is a very big challenge. How you are going to efficiently utilize? First one is managerial staff. This is the brain box of the enterprise. The brain box of the enterprise is the managerial staff, that is the top management. They set the goals, objectives. They design a plan for the entire organization. They are, the top management, the CEO, the chairman, all come under this category. What work others have to do, that is decided by the managerial staff. Non-managerial staff are the real group which effectively converts the raw material. These people actually take the instruction. Instruction is given by managerial staff. That instruction is followed by non-managerial staff. Trained technical manpower. Yes, this constitute of people who technological expertise and are frequently required for machinery selection, installation, supervision, and operation. Wherever there is a problem, we need technical experts. Administrative is nothing but it's a group of staff which gives support services, They support the managerial staff, the non-managerial staff, and the trained people whenever they have doubts. They do not contribute to the production directly, but they help. Like in our school also, admin staff are not going to teach you. The core people who are working is the teachers, but the admin staff help us with worksheets, with revision sheets, with timetables, with schedules.